Amsterdam, one of Europe's classic cities, complete with its history, its culture, its scenic beauty, and the finest European football team on the continent, the Amsterdam Crusaders, two-time defending European football. The first annual Euro-American Football Classic. From Cox Stadium, today's matchup features the Amsterdam Crusaders versus the San Francisco State University Gators. Hello everyone, this is Hal Ramey along with Mike Schumann. It's a beautiful day here in San Francisco, and Mike, this is a unique matchup. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, it won't be your classic American football matchup, but the Crusaders, the best Europe has to offer. They've won their Super Bowl, the Euro Bowl, back-to-back years, and of course Dick Manini, this counts towards their record, so he's a little nervous about this game.
Yeah, they've already played one, and for Winston Ronde and his crew team, well, this is a long way to come for a game, and they'd really like to play their very best.
Yeah, it does matter. It's never been a European team that have beaten an American college team. And in always a good chance, opportunity to compare the type of level we got in Europe here in the States.
Rick Ramsay is a leading rusher for the crew, and if they're to play well today, Mike, they're counting on a big day from him.
Well, he's replacing Ronald Bowles, who was injured in the Euro Bowl, but Ramsay was the most valuable player in the bowl. He rushed for 100 yards, and they have some depth. A lot of running backs got a chance to play, so I don't think they'll be hurting at that position.
And a quarterback, Michael Horton, is an American import. They're counting on a lot from him, too.
Well, each team can have two Americans. It usually is that quarterback, and Horton also acts as the offensive coordinator. He's 6'4", 215 pounds, a big, strong kid. He's got a strong arm, and he can run.
And for San Francisco State, they open with a tough last-minute loss to the St. Mary's Gales, and this is a real headache for preparation game for Dick Manini.
It's been a nightmare, the preparation has, because when you prepare for an NCAA opponent, you know the quality of the competition that they play and the quality of the opponent. Here we don't know the quality of the opponent that Amsterdam has been playing against. All I know is that they can run well and they look like a very, very good football team. But it's been a nightmare getting ready.
Leading the way for San Francisco State in the running game is Richard Parker.
A 1,000-yard rusher for State last year, the first to do it, and I can't remember when. He's a great player. He might go on and play in the World League. He's got that kind of talent, even though he is in a Division II school.
At quarterback, Tress Sullivan will go for the Gators. He had a bit of a tough start, Mark, 13 of 31 last week.
Well, he took over last year about halfway through. He's a senior player. He's a smart, heady player, but Coach Manini claims he's been a little impatient thus far, but that's typical this early in the season.
So it's San Francisco State and the Amsterdam Crusaders, the Euro-American Classic, and the kickoff is coming right up. The Gators will receive the opening kickoff. San Francisco State in its home purple jerseys, purple helmets and white pants. The crew on the road, white jerseys and black numerals with the red helmets and silver pants and shoe. Gators get the first crack at it here.
Well, it's a home opener for the Gators. They won't be home for another month after this. Decent crowd came out today. They're excited to be home, and of course they lost last week to St. Mary's and hoping to rectify that today.
Chad Ziegler, the leading receiver for San Francisco State, is back as a twin safety along with Richard Parker. And Olaf Canola will kick it off for Amsterdam.
Ziegler, a player we didn't talk about in the open. He's a great little receiver. They move him around a lot. Of course, San Francisco State runs what they call the flex bone. Look for a play-action pass on the first play from scrimmage.
So the Gators will move from our right to our left in the first quarter. And here we go, the Euro-American Football Classic underway. Ball coming down and fielded on one hop by Parker. Out to the 30, the 35, the 40, and gets out to about the 41-yard line. So the Gators will get excellent field position to start. John Ayers with the tackle for Amsterdam. So there's a look at Tress Sullivan. 13 of 31 for 167 yards and a touchdown last week. Last year, he threw at 54.3% rate, Mike, so he can do better than he did last Saturday. All right, for the Gators, Sullivan a quarterback, Richard Parker, Derek Dern, and Kendrick Isles in the backfield. Ziegler and John Greer are the ends. First and 10 at the 41-yard line for the Gators. Sullivan with the play fake and throwing out on the left side and wide open and making the catch is Parker going down to the 31-yard line.
Parker's an all-purpose back, Hal. He does it all. He rushed for 1,000 yards. He's a good receiver, obviously, as you just saw, out of the backfield. And you're going to see a lot of differences between the European team and you're going to see differences between the American team. They don't have the instincts in Europe. Here you'll see the replay. They just faked into the line. The European team fell for it. Parker wide open on the sideline, makes a good catch. And a good start for the Gators here.
Zimmerman with the tackle down near the 30-yard line, so about a 30-yard gain on the first play for San Francisco State. Here's a give to Parker again. Bounces off the first tackle, and he'll get to about the 25-yard line where Richard Zimmerman made that once again for the Crew. Look at the Amsterdam defensive lineup now for you. Gausloot, Castillon, and Piersma, along with Ramsahai in the down line. Bedford, Deneboom, and Skeppers are the linebackers. And in the secondary, man to watch, Blocker had 7 interceptions during the season. Second down and about 5.
Well, the Gators on offense, Hal, they run the triple option with no tight end. They call it the flex bone. They have a lot of sprint out, a lot of roll out, and a lot of play action where they'll drop back off of. So it's a lot of movement, motion offense, and yet it's still basically the triple option.
Garcia is in the backfield now, and Parker lined up in the slot. Here's the pitch coming back to Garcia, and he rambles close to the first down. He may be a little short at the 21-yard line where Martin Skeppers, the outside linebacker, made the hit. All right, the Gators will have a third down and less than a yard at the 21-yard line. We played 2.5 minutes here, and San Francisco State certainly threatening to get on the scoreboard first after receiving the opening kickoff.
Of course, a name familiar to Bay Area viewers will be John Ralston, who's involved with this team, the Amsterdam Crusaders. He got involved with the World League of American Football. He worked with Winston Rahn, the head coach, and of course, Winston went on to create the Crusaders himself back in 1984. So Winston himself was a player, now the head coach.
Parker back as a setback after lining up in the slot on the previous play. And Isles goes straight ahead and has the first down and much more. Getting down well inside the 13-yard line, possibly close to the 12. Arnold Golensloot, the right side defensive end, made the hit. And he's a little slow to get up. I believe it is Golensloot is down and unable to get up for the moment.
Well, talking with Coach Ront before the game, these players aren't used to playing hurt. You know, they pay $650 for the uniform. They pay $150 to join the club. And if you're injured, they're not going to go ahead and play hurt. They're going to go ahead and take themselves out. So depth will be a key in this game today, whether the Crew can hold up or not.
They appear to be looking at his left knee. The Crew brought only 38 players, so their depth just isn't there. And Golensloot will have to leave.
Well, they pay their own expenses, however they travel through Europe or here. I think they have a sponsor that helps out. So a lot of the players, their 2 best wide receivers and 2 best defensive linemen did not make the trip. So you might see a little movement down the middle from the Gators as they try to attack that weak DL.
Jack Slotergroff is in, replacing Golensloot at the right end position. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line for the Gators as they try to take it to the end zone here. Duran in motion. Sullivan pitching back to Parker. A marker comes down, and Parker breaks the tackle and breaks free, and down the sideline he goes into the end zone. But we'll see where the penalty marker is. 13-yard scoring run, but will it stand up? That's the question. It is going to be offside against the Crew, so a 13-yard scoring run. And the Gators quickly on the scoreboard.
Touchdown, San Francisco State.
Well, the Crew had him stopped in the backfield, but what we talked about, not the basic instincts, the tackle was made, but he did not lock up, and as a result, 6 points for the Gators.
So it took San Francisco State just 2 minutes and 40 seconds to take it into the end zone. And David Knorr is on for the conversion. He was 2 for 2 last week.
Number 14, David Knorr, to attempt the point after. Out of the hole of number 17.
San Francisco State out in front 6-0 here. Sullivan is the holder. Knorr's kick is blocked. And it will be knocked around, and the Gators covered up at the 12-yard line, so the conversion fails. And San Francisco State leads Amsterdam 6-0 here.
Blocked by Ricardo
Mark at the
Zimmerman.
end of the play.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
The block was actually made by Richardo Zimmerman, the left corner, who was in on a couple of tackles in that first drive. Now let's see what this penalty is going to be. Mike, I thought those flags came out at the very end of the play.
I can't imagine what it could be. Once the kick is blocked, it's dead on an extra point. So they were either lined up off sides or going to get another kick out of it, or the Zimmerman, when he blocked it, might have went up on somebody's back, which is illegal in college football.
So the penalty against the Crew, and the Gators get another shot at it here. So Noor will try it again. And that miss will not count on his record. Crew nearly jumped. Noor's kick this time is through. And the Gators go up by 7. So we have a timeout. We're 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the Euro-American Classic, and San Francisco State in the lead by a score of 7-0.
5 plays, 59 yards.
And now a 5-yard penalty being marched off against the Crew, so San Francisco State will kick off from the 40. Didn't take it very long to get in the end zone, Mike.
No, it didn't. 59 yards, 5 plays, as you can see. And, of course, Richard Parker's a great back, and it's a real test for the Crusaders to see. They had him trapped in the backfield, didn't lock up, and that's what we talk about, some of the differences in European and American football. They've been doing it a lot longer, and as a result, a lot more effective.
Jason Jones will kick it off for San Francisco State. Barefooted kicker. Cyrus and Ehlers are the deep men. Kick is high but short, and it's going to be Cyrus right on the 10-yard line. Hit about the 16, or at the 20, out to about the 24-yard line. So the Crew will start there, trailing it 7-0. Kobe Proctor made the tackle.
In the locker room prior to the game, how the Crusaders were really nervous about this. They weren't sure how they're going to match up. They're not sure how effective they can be. And unless they can do something early, I can see maybe the wind going out of their sails early on in this game.
All right, for Amsterdam, Horton is the quarterback. Ramasai and Vandelike in the backfield. There's a look at the offensive line as they'll start from the 21-yard line.
Look for a play-action pass here on the first play of the game, Hal.
Horton, the quarterback from New Haven University, and setting up and throwing and completes the pass. And Kirk Ahrens, the tight end, out of bounds, and a marker at the end of the play. Aaron McDaniel, the right side cornerback, made the hit for San Francisco State.
Tight end Ahrens there, also another American player, played at Arizona State. That'll help Horton's confidence. I mean, he's played against American football, so he's a guy who's going to have to lead the Crew down the field. And, of course, Ahrens is his favorite receiver, obviously, because he's played the game also. But they've got some good little wide receivers, some good running backs, and like I mentioned, they have a lot of depth. If these guys pay this kind of money to come out and play, they all want to play, which is sort of a coach's nightmare, trying to get everybody a chance. And if you come all the way to the United States, you'd like to see yourself get in the game.
Personal foul after the catch out of bounds has moved the ball all the way up to the 48-yard line, and you know Dick Manini's going to cringe over that because his team was penalized for 104 yards last week, 8 majors, and really was a huge factor in their loss to St. Mary's. Here goes a fullback blast straight ahead as Vandelike crosses the 50 and gets about 4 yards down to the 8 of the Gators, where Robert Sawai, the inside linebacker, made the hit. So it'll be second and about 6, and Sawai coming off a big game against the Gales. He had 14 tackles and an interception at St. Mary's last week.
Well, the Crew has a great rushing offense. They've rushed for over 250 yards per contest. They had 49 touchdowns during the season, and they racked up nearly 500 yards a game on offense. But the level of competition throughout Europe is questionable.
Bilesma is out as a wide receiver to the left with Cyrus. Single setback this time. Second and about 6. And the handoff to Ramsahai, and he flies his way down to about the 42-yard line. Pretty close to the first down as I spot the football. Thad Lafitte, left side corner, made the tackle for the Gators, and it appears we'll have a measurement here.
San Francisco State on defense, the strength is probably the linebacking core and their secondary. What they'll try to do is blitz a lot, pressure the quarterback, and get some hurries as opposed to sacks, and that way they can cover their secondary.
Hutchins, DeCarlo, and Backus on the defensive line for the Gators. DeSandos, Sawai, Elzy, and Piccolotti are the 4-man linebacking crew. And in the secondary, Smith, McDaniel, Elzy,
and Fimbres.
Dick Manini, of course, a defensive expert. The team gave up 25 points, 422 yards a game last year, and Dick said it's hard to go anywhere but up when you're in the basement, so he realized coming into the program, this is his first year, he had a lot of work to do on the defensive side of the ball.
Ramsey High came up just short of first down. Early on, Mike, it's appeared that the Crew is not as strong in a lot of ways. The Gators Ramsey shows some pretty good strength on that run.
Well, their offensive line is small, a lot smaller than the San Francisco State defensive line, and that's going to be the real test of the game here today. You know, your offense effectiveness starts on the offensive line. They only average about 200 pounds on that line, but sometimes you can make up with smaller size with quickness, and that's what they're going to have to depend on today.
Hugh Boss, the left guard, is the smallest at 200, and they do have Sven Ouderdorp, who's up at 266 on the right side of that line, the right tackle, number 64. All right, it's 3rd and inches now as Cyrus goes in motion. And straight ahead, the fullback, Vanderlyke, has the first down to about the 41-yard line. Dwayne Elsie, inside linebacker, made the hit for San Francisco State. We're about 4 minutes into the game, and the Gators lead at 7-0 as they went 59 yards in the opening drive to a touchdown.
Defense for the Gators only have 3 returning starters, Hal, and a lot of inexperience there. Most of the kids who play at San Francisco State, they come here for their education first, then they have a lot of fun playing football as opposed to maybe a major school where you're going there just to play athletics. Of course, we don't like to encourage that, but that's the case here, and it's fun to see these guys just enjoying themselves out there.
Here goes the toss, and around the left side it is Ramsey High getting a couple. Them strung up pretty well, and Sawai as his second tackle of this game after making 14 last week. It'll be 2nd down and about 8 at 39 of San Francisco State.
Talking with Winston Rande yesterday, the head coach. He was a player, as we mentioned. He started the Crusaders team, now the head coach, and he's going to stay here and coach the defense for Mount Tamalpais High School until their season's over. So he's going to get an American experience playing here and being a coach over here, and he's really looking forward to it. I think it's like maybe George Halas when he's trying to start the NFL years ago, all the headaches they have, and it's a great experience for the whole team.
All right, Horton being chased down, in trouble, and throws upfield, throws it away. Undershot his receiver, Nakoud, and that ball was closer to being intercepted than completed to one of the white shirts, so it brings up 3rd down and about 8. Nicolati put the pressure on there, so it's 3rd and long.
Well, because of the Crew's inexperience, their offense won't be as complicated. They tried to flood a zone there. Horton just got pressure and couldn't get the ball off. But you'll see a more simplified version of maybe some American offenses. And as a result, because they don't have the instincts or they haven't been playing football since youth like kids in the United States.
3rd and 8, Bilesma and Cyrus both come out wide to the right side. It's a trips formation now as Nakoud is out there as well. 3rd and 8 for the Crew. Horton has good protection this time and fires it upfield. It is caught by Bilesma, and he's got a first down at the 29-yard line of the Gators. So they executed that very well, and a first down. Al Elsie, the strong safety, and Thad Lafitte, the cornerback, made the hit for the Gators. It's 1st and 10 at the 28.
That was just your basic 3 men flooding a zone on one side, going down, all curling. Very effective. They caught San Francisco State in a zone. They found the hole. 1st down.
Horton has completed 2 of his first 3 passes now.
Plenty of time there. He got some good protection. As I mentioned, they caught him in a zone. He just found the opening. 1st down.
And Jerry Cyrus split to the right. Ramsey High and Vanderlyke in the I formation. 1st down and 10. Horton with good protection again, and he's got his receiver just shy of the 20-yard line as Kurt Ahrens is hit by Dwayne Elsie. And it'll be 2nd down and about 3 here.
Well, they brought the tight end Ahrens all the way across the field. You see him to the right side of your screen coming across. He just found the hole. Nice play. This will be the tandem throughout most of the day. As I mentioned, both played in America, New Haven University and Arizona State. And it's a great chance for them to continue their football careers and take a tour of Europe for a while.
Short passing game being very effective for the Crew right now as Mueller goes wide left and Nakoud is split to the right here. It's 2nd down and about 2.5. And here's pretty good penetration by the Gators defense, and Ramsey High stopped at about the 20. It'll be 3rd down and about 1 yard to go. DeCarlo, the nose guard, and Robert Sawai, the inside backer, made the hit.
Well, the Crew hadn't had a lot of luck running up the middle, as we talked about. They're a little small in the middle part of the offensive line, and they're not going to move a whole lot of people. I think maybe play action, and they're running a lot of specialists in and out. As I mentioned, everybody gets a chance to play for the Crew, which is a good situation. But at the same time, you're not going to have a whole lot of continuity at your position. So we'll see how that carries on through the third and fourth quarter.
Crew has converted its 2 previous third down opportunities. Third and about a yard here at the 20-yard line, and now count has been missed as Ramsahai came across the line of scrimmage, and it would appear this will be on Amsterdam. So if that is the case, third and 1 will become third and 6, and that makes it a lot tougher proposition.
Well, they're all a little nervous, as I mentioned prior to the game, and a little anxious there, Ramsahai, to get off the line of scrimmage, get his block. Maybe this will help him, though. The micro with a little play action pass here, fake it into the line.
Offense.
That's where they've been the most effective thus far, is in the short passing game. And Cyrus is coming back in the game. He's more their receiving wide receiver, so look for a little play action here or a mild sprint out.
Johnny Welton, the referee, indicating the false start against the Crew, so it is now third down and 6 from the 25-yard line. Bilesma and Cyrus go wide to the left side, along with Nakau. Third down and 6 now. Finder like it, this thing's set back. Horton back to pass. Good protection again, and going to the end zone, and it's just overthrown. Bilesma actually had a step on the defender, but the ball led him too much, and it's fourth down and 6.
Well, they ran the same play that they made the first down on previously to the other side of the field, flooding a zone, and faked the curl route and took it deep. He had him. He was just a little bit, a couple steps short. That would have been a nice little touchdown for the Crew. It looks like they're going to go for the field goal.
Olaf Kanola is their kicker, and this will be a 42-yard effort. Horton is the holder.
According to head coach Ronde, this is the toughest part of their game, the kicking game, because it's hard to get a player to come out and pay $750 just to kick. So they've got to find another athlete who can also kick.
Bit of a low snap, but Horton gets it placed down, but the kick is going to be wide to the left. And so the Gators, aided by that penalty, are able to hold out Amsterdam here in their opening sequence. We now move to further action in the first quarter. Miles. And it's Parker. Look at that running room. Trying to get outside, needs one block, and is tossed down at about the 5 or 6 yard line. Boy, they really cleared out the right side, Mike.
I'll tell you what, in this flex bone or the eye bone, what you'll see, the splits by the offensive linemen are so wide, and what that does is spread the field for you from side to side, and then you'll have some huge holes as a result, and you just saw it right there. Here you just see Parker making a good run, but if you look at the offensive line next time, check how wide their splits are. It's incredible. I don't think I've ever seen a team split them so wide.
Zimmerman finally got him at the 5 yard line. That's a pretty good average, 72 yards and 5 carries. I think he'll take that. And the give, and Isles loses the football. Isles lost it on the ground. Let's see who's got it back. Right down near the goal line, and one of the Crew players, I believe, got up with the football. Let's see what they rule it. No, it's dead ball. It's second and goal. So Kendrick Isles lost the football, but the Gators recover it just shy of the goal line. It's second down and about a foot. So big break for San Francisco State there. Ball just, it appears, less than a foot shy of the goal line. But less than 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. The Gators now trying to build on a 7-0 lead. And Isles again, and he's stuck. Boy, they guessed right on that. And Bedford led the charge, and Isles from that lead fullback position, Mike, never really had a chance to get momentum. He went nowhere.
That was a big-time form tackle right there. You couldn't tell he didn't play any football in his youth. They've got some athletes on that side of the ball, and it's just going to be a matter of them. They don't even understand reads. They don't have the instincts. You see the hit right there. You know, normally if a guard pulls, for instance, or a guard might influence one way or the other, you can read, but the Crusaders just haven't played ball long enough to pick up on those instincts.
Slot to the right, and the give goes to Isles, and he gets in for the touchdown on third down. So Isles stopped on second down, takes it in, and the Gators have a 13-0 lead, capitalizing on the interception. Gave him a little different look that time, Mike, and he had plenty of room, didn't he?
No question. They'll either run the flex bone, which is more of a triple option, or the I bone, where they'll just power stack it. And as I mentioned, those splits are so wide, you have to go out with him to honor the offensive lineman, and he just walked in right there.
Went in behind the right guard, 340-pound Mark Washington, and I know they're a little concerned about the size difference there. That's a lot bigger than anyone
A lot bigger.
on the crew roster. All right, here's David Knorr ready for the conversion. Banged him the first one on his second attempt after his first effort was blocked. Bit of a low snap, and Sullivan gets it placed down, and the kick is good. So the Gators go up by 2 touchdowns. And those turnovers, Mike, if you're outmatched, that's really tough to give the ball away about the 23-yard line.
Well, between that and penalties, you're right, Hal. The crew's just got to get a little more consistent on the offensive side of the ball. I think they're a little nervous here in the first quarter. Maybe they'll settle down and get some drives like they had on the first one. The penalty cost them that first drive, and, of course, the interception there resulted in 7 points for the Gators.
We now move to further action in the second quarter. Second and about 10. Here's Parker, and jammed up, trying to break away, and does. And out to the 50, gets away at the 45, and run out of bounds near the 35-yard line. Boy, Parker just a man among boys so far, Shu, and that'll put him over the 100-yard mark unofficially with 106 yards and 7 carries.
Well, a good day for him to pad his stats, I guess you could say. He's got a great sense of balance, and he's got some great feet. You'll see him in here. He stopped right here. He keeps his balance, keeps his feet moving, and then you'll break wide, and you'll see number 32 go for the ball. Should have went for the tackle. He went for the ball. Been watching too much American football. And as a result, Parker picks up a few more yards.
It was Menno Gibson trying to strip it away, and Patrick Bacher finally forces him out of bounds at the 34-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for the Gators. They lead at 14-0. Barry Campbell is wired to the left side here. And on the option, keeping the ball, Mangoni, and breaking away at the 20, and there he goes. 10-5, he's in. Mark Mangoni going for the touchdown from 34 yards out. Well, they said they were worried about the option, and they got burned there.
Well, that was another version of it, too. They line up in the I formation. They call it the I bone instead of the triple option. And just a little bit of a different look, and just did a great job. And you'll see number 55, Golan slide. He had a chance right here. He didn't come into your screen. He just gave up, took his helmet off, was ready to throw it down. The crew already showing a little frustration.
So a 20-0 lead for San Francisco State as Knorr is on to attempt his third conversion. And he's got it. So the Gators continue to make the big plays. A lot of big runs by Parker today, and now a 34-yard scoring run by Mark Mangoni. So San Francisco State early in the second quarter now leads Amsterdam by a score of 21-0. We now move to further action in the second quarter. Brad Horton ready to go. He's got Ehlers in the backfield now, along with Van Gum. And Van Gum gets the handoff and blasts his way across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line. About 6 yards on the play.
You know, not having, as we talked earlier, the offensive and defensive coordinators are on the field as players, and not having coaches up in the box, you're not able to see some things. So the crew's going to do only what they know how to do, run the ball and run some play action. Whereas if they had somebody in the box, you might see a tendency that the Gators are doing, you could exploit it. But as a result, for instance, I look here and see some things, but they're just not taking advantage of it, and I think that's part of the problem.
Burks made the tackle on Van Gum at the 42-yard line. 2nd and about 4. And it's coming back in is Ramsey. Who does he get hit? He didn't get much past the line of scrimmage, and Michael Brooks made the hit that time. Actually, Winston Rodney told me, Mike, that they've got a couple of friends or relatives of the players along on the trip, and they're going to be upstairs, but it may not have the same efficiency as a coaching staff, which the Gators enjoy.
They might be upstairs with a great seat, but not sure what to look for. Here's just some great team tackling and pursuit to the ball by the Gators. Dick Manini's always been known for great defenses. They fly to the ball, and a lot of times that's a result of the penalties. You know, you've got such great team tackling that a lot of late hits as a result.
After starting very successfully and converting third downs, the crew now just 3 for 8 as they look at this 3rd and 3 play, and this one is very close to a first down as the gain is out to the 47-yard line for Rufus Van Gum, and he appears to have the first down up at the 47 where Michael Brooks made the tackle.
Well, the Crew made their living running the ball, averaging almost 250 yards a game in the European Football League, but a lot of these running backs probably haven't been hit as hard as they have by the Gators today because, as we talked about, they just don't have the instincts, learn how to tackle, learn how to protect themselves over in Europe. So these backs are taking a beating today here by the Gators.
They have the first down up at the 47. Horton with a play fake and setting up, protection breaking down. He's throwing it deep up the left side, and that ball is incomplete. Boy, Bilesma almost got there. He seemed to have a little trouble cutting back to his right, or that could have been a huge gain down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Horton did a great job. He had some pressure in the pocket. He stepped up. The offensive line kept him out, and Biles just couldn't make the adjustment on the ball. You'll see it here. He was trying to get to it, just didn't have the speed, but he tried to make a great adjustment, took his eye off of it at the last second. And, we keep talking about the little instinctive things that you learn as you come up in the ranks of football. They don't have that luxury in Europe.
Boy, Horton got a lot on that ball for being off balance,
Yeah, he
didn't
did. He threw it off his back foot and still went 40 yards.
Good arm strength. There's Ramzai tripped up as he tried to go out right side and then cut back, and it's maybe a yard or two stacked up near the, we'll give him the 49-yard line, so it'll be third down and a long 8.
Talking to some of the Gator defensive players prior to the game, they said Horton had a reputation. He'd thrown the ball 70 yards in the air one time in a European Football League game. Of course, that's all it took to be a lot of other players around the game, but he's got a strong arm. You just saw it there. He threw it out there about 50 yards off his back foot.
Van Gum and Ramzai in the backfield behind Horton. Mueller and Cyrus. Twin receivers out to the right. Third and a long 8. Horton running for his life now. Comes back and throws, and Cyrus has it, breaks a tackle. He's going to get a first down and more. And he almost got a block to spring him. Cyrus has a first down at the 31-yard line. That was a great effort.
Well, he's one of their best skill positions. As you see, he returns punts and kickoffs. He's hard to bring down. It sort of makes me nervous. If I was the coach, the way he carries the ball, it's like, as they used to describe, a loaf of bread, exactly. Horton makes the play here. He scrambles out. Cyrus finds the opening. Great throw again, and a great catch. Look at the way he holds the ball, though. Sort of just ended up like a loaf of bread waiting to pop out. If you're a coach, that just drives you nuts, but he made a great play, and the Crew, their best drive so far.
Mueller is split to the left. Horton trying to set up the screen, and completes it to Van Gum. Going to the 35, to the 30, needs a block, cuts back at the 20, and wrapped up there. He appears to have another first down at the 20-yard line. Rufus Van Gum. So that will stop the clock with 2:20 remaining here in the first half.
Very nicely set up. Horton kept dropping back, giving the Gators the feeling that they're going to make a sack. Set it up nicely, and a good run after the catch here as the Crew, their best drive so far on offense.
Thad Lafitte made the tackle right at the 20. It's 1st and 10. Cyrus going wide to the right. Mueller split left. Ramzai returns to the backfield with Van Gum behind Michael Horton. Horton quick drop and throwing, and Cyrus has it at the 15 and gets to about the 12. Boy, is he gang tackled there. About 5 or 6 purple shirts got to him. He's a good-looking receiver.
He's a slippery little receiver. He's tough to bring down. That's why he's their kickoff and punt return man. They need to get the ball to him a little more and just let him get in the open field and do what he does best. It's just a 5-yard hitch. It's only a 3-step drop, which gives the Crew time. As you can see, he broke a couple tackles before he was mauled by the Gators.
It's 2nd and 3 at the 13-yard line. The clock running with 1:23 here as we wind down to the end of the first half. And here's a handoff. Ramzai up for a loss back at the 17 or 18-yard line by Robert Piccolotti. And that turns things around a little. It is going to be 3rd down and about 7, and the clock running down to exactly 1 minute now as they're ready to go without a huddle here. Big 3rd down play. Horton setting up, has plenty of time, and going for Cyrus, overthrown, and excellent coverage anyways. They crossed the back line to the end zone. Lafitte was right with him, but the ball was not going to be caught on the playing field. So now it is 4th down and 8, and it was a big play that Piccolotti made a moment ago, spilling Rams a high because they had it down 2nd and short, and now it's turned into a 4th and 8 after the incompletion.
Well, they were out of timeouts, Hal, so they had to throw the ball up. They probably figured they'd go ahead and go for it. If you get it touchdown, great. If not, you can stop the clock and they give them a chance to regroup and go for this 4th down.
4th and 8 at the 17 of the Gators. 21-0, San Francisco State in the lead. Cyrus and Mueller going wide to the right. Van Gum is the single setback. 4th and 8 now. Gordon, oh, here comes the blitz. He has to unload and does from Cyrus, and he drops the ball. Jerry Cyrus appeared to have a first down right in his hands, but turned, I guess, to try to run without putting the football away, and the result is an incompletion, and the Gators take over.
Well, Cyrus had been in on the previous 3 plays. I think he was just a little tired, and of course, when you get a little tired, your concentration goes, it leaves you a little, and just couldn't hold on to the ball.
We now move to further action in the 3rd quarter. San Francisco State will take over at the 34-yard line.
40 yards with a 14-yard return. Ball 34-yard line, first and 10.
Tress Sullivan is back in at quarterback. He sends Parker in motion to the right. And hands it off to Isles. He's out close to a first down, driving across the 45 up to the 46-yard line. So Kendrick Isles gets 11 or 12 there before Hubert Bedford, the outside linebacker, can make the stop. Bedford with 72 tackles during the regular season, second only to Marcel Deneboom, their middle linebacker.
Yeah, he's one of their better players at safety. And of course, you'll see a lot of just arm tackling and just not properly set up. They don't break down before they hit, and as John Ralston mentioned at halftime, their weight's usually on their heels. As a result, you'll see a lot of the Gator running backs running through them, breaking tackles, and they're just not adept or have the instincts, as we talked about and have talked about throughout the game, that you learn as a young player.
Frank Piersma is shaken up. The left side tackle on the Crew's defensive line, 6'3", 242-pounder, 28. He's a manager, lives in Amsterdam, and favoring that right leg as he's helped off. Gators out of the huddle now. They'll have it first down and 10 at the 46 after that last run by Kendrick Isles. Jack Slotergroff in to replace Piersman on the defensive line for the Crew. Garcia in motion, and Isles a handoff, and a big hole over the middle, busting across the 40, breaks a tackle to the 35 and down to the 25-yard line before Bedford can bring him down. And another of the white shirts is down after that play.
It's got to be frustrating for the Crew. You see here, it's just a quick hitter, and I think they're just starting to get a little worn down, Hal. You're seeing them just miss their blocks, just come off here, just come off there, and a little undermanned is starting to show up big time.
29-yard gain on the play for Kendrick Isles. Not able to identify, is it Barker who's down? I think it's the free safety Barker who may be down.
Looks like he just got the wind knocked out of him. He's been making a lot of tackles here today. He's probably just looking for a little break himself.
Barker is a journalist we talked about earlier. He's got 7 interceptions between stories this year and 5 fumble recoveries, 69 tackles as well. So he's a very busy man. There's John Ralston back down on the field with. There's a shot back again of Barker, who is just trying to catch his breath, as you said, Shu. John Ralston rejoining Winston Ronde down there below. So Barker, the free safety, well, now he's going to be able to get up.
They're showing a lot of heart, a lot of good sportsmanship, too. You'll see some of the Gator players after a tackle or getting tackled, give up, pat him on the head, pat him on the back. You know, I think maybe the Gator players almost starting to feel for the Crew, knowing that they are undermanned, and it's a nice gesture on their part. They still want to win this game, believe me, but they're showing some good sportsmanship out there.
All right, the Gators have it first down at the 24-yard line. Isles is a single setback and a double wing look this time. First time I've shown it today, and Tress throws and completes it, and a touchdown to Ziegler. Tress Sullivan, we said they come out a double wing look here the first time they've shown it today, and I don't think the Crew ever quite got adjusted to it, as Ziegler was all alone and has the catch for the touchdown.
Well, he's their best receiver. They haven't gotten the ball to him too much today. He's been doing a great job on punt returns. Dick Manini thought this kid, Chad Ziegler, could play in that World League of American Football. prototypical possession receiver. I know he would hate that term because he feels like he's quick enough or has some speed. But a nice little play set out there by a double move. Touchdown for the Gators.
David Knorr on to attempt the conversion now. So Sullivan threw for one touchdown last week and has another one here. The conversion attempt is good. And so the Gators have built the lead up to 28-0. We now move to further action in the third quarter. Third down at about 9. They run a little double wing look here and send Mueller in motion to the right side. And the draw play and going out close to the first down with a good effort is Ramsey High. Rick hasn't carried much here since the opening quarter, but he's close to first down yards. Let's see where they spot that football. He needs almost the 42, and he's got the first down.
Good instinct running there. He knew where the marker was. He put his head down, got a little extra yardage there, and it gives him the first down as the crew is driving.
Andrew Burks made the tackle across the 42, so it's 1st and 10 there. We've got 5 minutes left in the third. Gators lead at 28-0, and the Crusaders started from their 10. Moved it up to the 42. Now Cyrus goes and splits out wider to the right side, and Mueller will go in motion to the right. Horton setting up and throwing, and this is completed underneath, and the tight end, Von Gerhard, is got about 5 yards before he's thrown out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Well, Horton wanted Cyrus to split out a little further because when they ran the tight end in motion there, he came up underneath and came up with a catch. If Cyrus would have been at his normal split that he lined up at, the play would not have worked.
Paul Peralta, second-team quarterback, made the hit there. Gain of about 5, 2nd and 5 for the crew. Bilesma comes out wide to the left. 2nd and about 5. And going straight ahead, another big hit on Ramsey High as he's out to the 46 of the Gators for another first down. So once again, the crew moving it from the 10 down to the 46 of San Francisco State.
Mixing up here, Hal. A couple of runs, couple of short passes, being a little more creative in their offensive calls, and I'm not sure who their coordinator is who's making the calls. Looks like John Ralston is helping out now. But a little more creative in their calls and not as predictable, and it's starting to show in this drive.
Come out in a nice set, and the give goes to Venderdyke, and Van Dyke has about 2 or 3 more. So put it at the 43-yard line, 2nd and 7. 3.5 minutes left in the third here as the Crusaders try to get on the scoreboard. They had their best chances early. I believe it was a 3rd and 1 at about the 20-yard line. Got a motion penalty. That took them to 3rd and 6 and incomplete, and they haven't really been as effective since. Trips left formation here on 2nd down. Horton rolling left and being chased and firing deep, and it's incomplete down to the 10-yard line. Aqib Knockout almost had the catch.
That was a great throw by Horton. Off balance, he had pressure from the backside. Ramsey High didn't even see. He was their lead blocker. He didn't see the man coming from behind, and Horton did a great job getting the ball off. He sent 2 men just down the field. You'll see from the backside the pressure's coming. Ramsey High, the running back, doesn't even see it coming, and Horton did a great job of getting it off knowing he's going to get hit. He's taking a beating today, but he's hanging in there.
They're now 6 for 14 converting third down opportunities on the crew, and that's still a good percentage.
Not bad at all.
All right, Cyrus wide to the left. Mueller split right. Horton straight back. And throwing, and Cyrus has it. Punched by 3 tacklers at the 30-yard line. Boy, Horton threw a dart there.
Oh, Cyrus just running straight up and down over the middle. You would never see that in American football, but he is a tough little kid. Here you see from the end zone, it's just a square in pattern, and Horton gets the ball off quick, on time. Cyrus protects himself, which a lot of these players don't know how to do. The back is the biggest muscle in your body. If you're going over the middle, that's usually what you want to give the defensive man so you don't get hurt. Cyrus did a good job holding the ball. First down, crew.
Now they've moved the ball from the 10 down to the 30-yard line. They have moved it 60 yards, but if you got to go 30 more. Very impressive drive here. Slot to the right. And the give goes to Van Dyke. And not much there on the right side. Purple Shirts have that one stacked up.
Sort of typical, even in America, a lot of coaches at this level, even in the pro level, they'll drive the ball from the 20 to the 20, and then they get a little tight in their play calling inside the red zone or inside from the 20-yard line in. Let's hope maybe Winston Ronde doesn't fall prey to that, because they've been moving the ball, mixing it up with a little run and pass. Let's see if the crew can advance.
Sean Castleberry made the tackle on Van Dyke at the 29. It's second down and 9 yards to go now. Bilesma in motion, and Orton to pass, and being chased. And he throws that one up for grabs. It's underthrown and incomplete. Both Bilesma and the cornerman Lafitte tried to stop and come back to the ball, and Lafitte, who had an earlier interception, was actually in better position for that, but neither could throw the brakes on in time.
Well, Bosman had run to the corner and didn't realize his quarterback had to scramble out. And normally if you see that, you'll make an adjustment in your route. But they were tangled up, as you mentioned, and they both just did a good job of staying on their feet there.
All that set up by the good pass rush from San Francisco State. We said they've got the second and third teamers in there, and they're fresh and want to press. So now it is third down and 9 at the 29-yard line. Mueller wide left, and Cyrus split right. Orton back again. Has good protection and throws, and a marker comes out as Mueller cannot make the catch. It's incomplete. One of the defenders there, Peralta, got a hand in to break it up. And it's going to be an offensive holding call, so likely, well, I won't make this call. Sure, they could look at 4th and 9, or they can have him back to 3rd and 19. What's your call?
I'm actually surprised there haven't been more holding calls on the crew. You know, they're a little undermanned on that offensive line. They've done a good job with their quickness. We'll see what the call is here. I might just take the play and make it 4th down. They're going to go with the, they're going to go with the penalty.
So that's the offensive holding call. 6th penalty of the afternoon against the crew. Takes it back to the 45. I think, Mike, that was a 16-yard penalty because it was at the 29.
They were doing it in meters instead of yards.
Not very hospitable at all. Well, now it's ball back across the 45. Maybe I'm being a little harsh. Anyway, it's 3rd and long, 15. Orton setting up and trying to find an open man, and undershoots Mueller. It'll be 4th. And about 25, I believe I said 15. The penalty takes it back to the 45. It'll be 4th down. And about 25. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. San Francisco State wins it 28-0. Hal Ramey for Mike Schumann saying goodbye from Cox Stadium in San Francisco.